Hey, John.
Hey, Greg.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Long time. I was out of town.
I was out of
We've been out of town. We're falling down on our duties with big news.
But we're back. We were here. Last time we were here was
around a little after Easter.
It was Easter. We had Easter dinner here.
We did have Easter dinner. Was that the actual last time we did?
That was the last time, Easter dinner.
Wow. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Yet we have actually gained a couple of subscribers.
Who?
Some people I met down in Florida when I was down there.
For real? They signed up.
Yeah.
I think we're up to 48 now.
Something. We're getting close to 50.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Good. So, man.
That's so good.
That's good, isn't it?
That's good.
So what's been going on, man?
Well, I got old officially. Turned 60. June 2nd.
60.
Yep.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Big 6-0.
Yes. No one seemed to believe it. They thought I was making stuff up. I was like, good genes. They're good genes.
No one ever guessed it.
No. But yeah, so that was that. My dad had a big party for me when I was 55, and a lot of people came.
The double nickel.
He tried to have a big party this time, but only my aunt Sandy showed up. So there were 4 of us.
And I was late.
And you couldn't quite make it.
I was late.
Yeah.
I tried though.
You did, and you great valor attempting to do that. It was a fun idea. Of course, you did get down in St. Pete there, and
I did.
You accomplished some important things over this period too.
I did. I got my ATP written out of the way.
Yes. You want to explain to the crowd what that is?
Yes, that is my airline transport certificate, which allows me to take the check ride to have my ATP license so I can fly Delta.
Literally be like a professional pilot.
Legit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be legit, man.
That deserves a real round of applause.
Yes.
And a toast.
Thank you, bro. What's new with you?
Well, I certainly did a lot of things. Helped Mom out around the house, fixed her whole house up, fixed stuff on the roof, fixed stuff. It's a big list. It's one of the reasons I never got married. I think I would have a honey-do list all the time. Mom has a honey-do list once a year, and I get busy. But it's very satisfying.
So let me
I
ask
did go
you
to
this.
Disney one day.
You did?
Yeah.
And you?
Hottest day of the year.
I saw the pictures of Tron.
Yes, I sent a couple pictures.
That's kind of cool.
Very cool. One of the best roller coasters I've ever been on. Phenomenal.
That's cool. I wanted to ask you a question about those lists.
Mm-hmm.
Something just came to my head.
Uh-huh.
So when you go see your mom,
Mm-hmm.
it's a honey-do list.
Yes.
If you were married,
Mm-hmm.
would it be called a daddy-do list?
I don't think I'm getting some humor there.
A daddy-do list?
Daddy do it. I think I'm using the phrase. Usually it's, honey, will you do this for me?
Right.
So therefore it'd be the same
You
thing.
know, girls call guys daddy.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
I'm your daddy.
Right, because you're 60.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you had a young girl,
If
if you had a young girl that was 40 or 25 or something.
Because I'm taking care of her, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You'd be daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Be daddy-do list.
Daddy do it.
You follow me now?
I follow you now.
Don't ruin my
Sorry you had
joke.
to explain your joke.
That's
It was
okay.
actually a pretty clever joke. I just wasn't that hip.
I mean, it's if you watch videos,
Uh-huh.
you know the
Yeah. Yeah.
the deal. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Luke, I'm not your father.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yes. So that's a very clever observation.
Okay, so you saw Tron.
Mhm.
You went to Disney World. You saw Tron.
Well, saw the Tron roller coaster.
Tron roller coaster.
Which was a lot better than Space Mountain. I went in it right before it. Space Mountain kind of antiquated. It throws you around a lot. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun, but it throws you all over the place. That Tron one, you get down like you're on a motorcycle, and it is smooth as butter.
Because in the video game, you're on a motorcycle.
Yeah, a light cycle, I call it.
So that kind of ties into a recurrent theme that's going on down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
DeSantis is really messing with Disney.
Yeah.
Did you see anything weird there at Disney? Does everything seem like
Disney just feels like normal?
It's normal.
Yeah. Everybody hates DeSantis now, though. I mean, he was so popular. He won with his landslide. thing. I mean, maybe just the people I was around. Of course, I was at Disney, and of course, people going to Disney are going to hate him. But I got the sense there were a lot of people that were Republicans. Like I went to the Hall of Presidents, and when they showed Trump, there was a big applause. Those people at Disney. And
say that one more time.
The Hall of Presidents, you know, where they have all
Not
animatronics. No, this is at Disney Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
It's one of the. It's not a ride, but it's one of the features. It's a thing, and they have every president of the whole history of the country in an audio animatronic thing. And when they introduced Trump, there was a big crowd in the back that cheered, you know. But there they are at Disney, right? So they probably wouldn't have cheered for DeSantis. Is the point I'm getting at. And of course, when they showed Biden actually got to speak, and he got an applause too. So,
did Biden get an equal applause as Trump?
As actually longer, but not as hyper. I think there were more people, but it wasn't as hyper. There's a thing about that Trump applause.
The energy.
The energy. Yeah.
Tell me about the energy. See, that's interesting. This Trump energy.
Mm-hmm.
This is what fascinates me.
Yeah. He has 33% of the country just loves him. Or whatever that percentage is.
And this is Trump energy. Like I think what you witnessed is valid.
Yeah.
There is some. It's called Trump energy.
There is. These people are inspired by him.
Now,
you and I don't think much of him, but
no.
But there are people that are inspired by him.
He aligns himself with Putin.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
Which we'll get to in a while.
No sense. Yeah.
So the
whole Wagner Group thing.
Yeah. So then Trump. So since the first time, right before Easter, he got indicted.
Right.
Okay.
And we thought it was a little bit of a silly one, but they felt like they had to do it up in New York.
And which one was it?
It was the one in New York where it was about the paying off the porn star thing.
Gotcha. Since then, he was found guilty in Jean Carroll.
Which is separate. That's a separate thing.
He was found guilty of that one civilly.
And then he went out and made a fool of himself, and he's getting sued again.
That's right.
By Jean Carroll again.
Right. So he's going to double dip on that one. Okay. So
I like to say what an idiot, but he's always gotten away with stuff his whole life. That's the problem. His dad got him out of it, and his lawyers got him out of it. He's never paid any responsibility for anything he's done.
So now, since we've been off the air, he got indicted by Jack Smith in Florida on some federal charges. What are they?
Well, I don't remember how many counts. There's a lot of them for things related to security issues.
37 counts.
Is it 37?
37 counts.
I was 38, but 37 counts.
37, 38.
For mishandling.
The boxes.
For mishandling secure documents and conspiracy to what is it? It actually
interfere with judicial system.
Right, because he wouldn't give them back when they were supposed to. And there's all these supporters are saying, well, it's the same thing with Biden and Pence and blah, blah, blah. It's not.
They gave them back.
First of all, Biden's people found them, weren't even asked for them, and said, here they are, and let's go see if there's more. Right? Here they are. Pence, sort of same scenario. Found some stuff, turn it in.
Honorable guy. I think Pence is honorable.
But I heard the argument from a Trump supporter, oh, well, everybody has them. I mean, Obama has them. These people, they all have them.
Where are they?
Yeah, I'm like, well, if they're there, then they'll turn them in. Trump wanted to keep them. His people were saying that he's like a...
Obstruct justice.
Well, obstruction justice is one of the charges. That's the main thing. But they're saying that he with these boxes, it was like he was a what do you call it when you keep everything? You can't get rid of stuff.
Hoarding.
Yes, he's a hoarder for things that make him look impressive, which are these boxes.
He thinks he's still president.
He does. He thinks he's still.
He's got the secret security detail.
Yeah.
He's got classified docs.
Yep. Which every former president has.
Watered down, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
still have it. Which is one of the reasons he probably won't ever do any time. Because how do you do Secret Service in jail? I won't do any time. But at least if they find him guilty of something, he'll, for once in his life, have to admit guilt and pay some restitution or something. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but
So then there's two.
yeah.
Solutions to this.
There's also one of the charges is something like related to not espionage, but he's sharing
It's the
secrets.
Espionage Act. It's
Yeah,
the
Espionage Act is one of them. Yeah.
So I think there's two solutions to his case, two possible outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
One's a legal outcome.
Mm-hmm.
The second one's a political outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you why. The first one, legal outcome.
I think I know where you're going.
He goes to trial. He's found innocent or guilty. That's the legal piece.
Mm-hmm.
Second one's political, where his attorneys go to the district attorney and say, "Hey, let's cut a deal.
Mm-hmm.
My guy's willing to forfeit running for president for the rest of his life if you'll drop the charges."
Basically, what Askew did back in the Watergate era, well, actually, it was before Watergate. The vice president then was actually, they were investigating him for some corruption or something, and he agreed to resign if they dropped the charges, and he would never seek office again. And then, of course, Ford pardoned Nixon. And basically with the idea that he would never try to sue office again. But he had already been elected twice, so he couldn't even run for president again if he wanted to. But yeah, something like that. I just don't think Trump's ego lets him do that, even though that would be smart.
His lawyers need to tie him down and say, "Dude," because here's the thing.
Because there's still another case that's even worse.
But actually, watch this. So watch this.
The Georgia case.
The Georgia case. That's the real deal.
That's the worst.
That's the real deal. So they can get him for obstruction of justice on this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he also has a judge that he appointed.
Mm-hmm. Overseeing it,
which I think she should recuse herself.
That would make sense. But I will say, if she manages it properly,
well, so far she hasn't, because some pretrial shit. She made a hearing on a pretrial hearing. She made a judgment on a pretrial hearing. The Department of Justice appealed it to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, yes.
The Supreme Court said she's wrong.
Yes. And
the three people on the Supreme Court, two of them were Trump appointees.
Yes. Gorsuch and
I don't know which ones.
Yeah.
But
and
Trump appointed
Tony Bryan, I think was. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, right. So
so she fucked that up in the very beginning.
Yep. So
if it's dead obvious, then you know she's rooting for him.
But I'm hoping, as a judge, being responsible for a lot of stuff, that she might have learned her lesson. But again, it creates a credibility in the outcome if she oversees it and he is found guilty. It's hard for all of his people knowing that she did this previously and he is found guilty if she oversees it. I think that gives more credibility to the outcome.
I agree with you if you're a logical person. Yes, it does give the case credibility if you're logical. But if you're 33% of the Trump energy,
the cult,
if you're at 33%, you can throw logic out the window. They don't care.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter who the judge is. Jesus Christ could be the judge.
Yeah.
And if Christ finds him guilty, he'll say, no. How can you find God?
It's a witch hunt.
How can you find God guilty?
It's a witch hunt.
It's a witch hunt.
Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of this, right when we were having the Easter dinner thing, Asa Hutchinson had announced he was going to be running.
He's still running.
He's one of he and Chris Christie, shockingly, are the two that are actually standing up and saying the truth about Trump. They're polling. They're polling terribly. I like it. I like him too. I still have a problem with his abortion stance, but
can't get everything.
No, but he's good otherwise.
But I think he's a good person.
Oh, he's honorable.
I think he's honorable. I think he's a good person. I think he's okay. What about?
I mean, again, outside of the social issues stuff, I actually like him a lot.
What about Pence?
I don't like Pence as much. He's too religious. I mean, I think he's honorable, but his religion drives him too much.
Okay.
He is so fundamentally driven by his religious stuff. Separation of church and state doesn't have
the love of Jesus Christ.
I mean, he's just
in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
It's too much. not saying that he's any more devout than Asa Hutchinson, but Asa Hutchinson doesn't project that. I don't think
Hence wears it on his shoulder.
Yes, I don't think that's healthy in our country with the idea of separation of powers and
church and state.
Church and state. Well, both things. Church and state is the overall writing thing. In this case, it is the church and state. Yeah.
Okay.
Separation of powers is kind of a. That's why we have the three different departments: presidential, the executive, the congressional, and the Supreme Court, judicial,
legislature.
Yes, legislatures. Thank you. This is why you passed your test so well.
I have the notes written right here.
No, you're just better at recalling that kind of detail. I'm good at thinking of things and being creative with things, but you're better at detail.
What Democrats do you like? So Republican, I go for Asa Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ones running.
Admit we're running.
Oh, I would like him. I actually think that what's her name from South Carolina is not bad.
Nikki Haley.
She
mentioned that last time.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Democrats?
Of the ones running, we have Marianne Williamson, who is, I think, in that case. And she means well, but she's out there. And then we have RFK Jr.
I don't like him. He's a conspiracy theorist. He is weird on he's weird on this water and drinking water. You get cancer.
Yeah, no, he's
weird.
He's too extreme on some things where he could have good points. Like you look at the water system up there in Michigan, where was the city where the lead pipes screwed everything up?
In Ohio.
No, this is in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of it. Anyways, there's a GM plant there. I'll think of it. But there are things with our
Pontiac,
infrastructure.
Michigan?
No.
Dearborn.
No, that's Ford. Pontiac is Pontiac cars, which don't exist anymore as a current brand. Anyways, it'll come to me. But Flint, Michigan. Yes. So the Republican governor of Michigan decided he was going to take control of things like Detroit and all this. So he created this law because he had so much power there that they could do these. They could take over a city and replace the elected mayor with an emergency mayor. And he put this guy in power in Flint, Michigan, and they stopped using the water they were getting from the Detroit water system, which was really good, and started using water from the lake. And it corroded the lead pipes, and they haven't been able to drink out of their water system for like 8 years. You have to drink bottled water. So, anyways, it was way off subject there. But the point being is, okay, I think, like I told my mother actually, because she's right where you are with him, and I would not vote for him unless it was between him and Trump. I'd take him over Trump. But in a primary, I would never vote for him. But I think he brings up an interesting discussion points, right? Because you do have to answer to some safety issues that are kind of washed over. Just saying. I mean, like our healthcare system, it is messed up because it's all about making money. It's not about curing people.
So, which Democrats do you like?
There's none that are running that I like, other than Biden. I mean, I like Biden fine. I don't love him, but he's fine.
Apart from the ones that are running, who do you like?
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
He can't run.
He's back on the circuits.
Yeah, I like him.
I'm going to tell you who I like.
Who do you like?
Buttigieg.
I still like Buttigieg. I don't think he's going to challenge for the presidency because he's in the administration.
But next time around.
Oh, yeah. No, he's sharp.
His age will be perfect.
Yeah.
America will be less homophobic.
Yeah. I think it's already less homophobic other than the Q plus stuff we've been talking about. The thing with the kids. My mom told me she saw 60 Minutes from last week, and they had a whole segment where this couple parents were discussing how they had helped their preteen child become
the opposite sex.
Trans.
The opposite sex.
Yeah. That's not good. if someone's gay or homosexual, that's fine. They got to figure that out. But you don't need to have preteen brains being treated with hormones and things like that.
I don't think there's anything wrong if somebody's gay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with something. I don't think there's anything wrong if someone's gay.
I want to tease
Yeah, no, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this is different. Something in this was like in the current generation that one in 5 of this generation identifies as LGBTQ.
What do you call it? What do you call it when you hook up with a person who's trans? What do you call it?
This is a joke. Transmission.
Transaction.
Transaction. I was thinking something else, but transaction. That's good.
A transaction.
It's a transaction.
It's a transaction.
Especially if you hook up with them and you don't know that they're trans. That would be confusing. Oh, she's hot. She's he? That would be weird.
That's when you need a transmission going in reverse.
That's right. Yeah. Throw it in reverse quick.
Oh, shit. Okay, so now on to some serious stuff here.
Well, don't you have some interesting story to tell before we do serious? Or is it that you're going to finish with
I'll tell a story after this.
Okay.
Now we're going to play the music.
There you go. We got the news music.
So, I think right now, here's the news, okay?
Huh?
Since I'm the presenter.
Yes.
You got to roll with me.
I'm rolling.
Biggest news, super big news, Tina Turner passed away.
That was big news
Tina
since
Turner.
we left. Yes.
Okay?
That was big news since
Okay.
since
That's
we
a
haven't
big
been on.
deal. She made some good songs.
She did.
Started in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Went all the way to the 2000s.
Long history. Fabulous.
She's the queen.
Yeah.
She's the queen.
That's
Tina
what
Turner.
I would not disagree
Big
with
deal.
that. Yeah. Big deal.
Second big thing.
I mean, some other people passed too.
Who?
I can't even think of all of them, but there were quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll save it for next time.
Yeah.
We'll do our
I'll bring the
research.
iPad up and look it
Okay.
up.
So, Tina Turner passed away. Second thing, the submersible.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
That was.
Seems like it's a catastrophe that could have been avoided.
Oh, for sure. Did I send you those links with
Yes, you did.
the Bob
It was
Ballard?
a piece of junk.
Yeah, it was.
It was a piece of junk.
Yeah.
Right?
It was. It was just crazy. Now, it had been used in some deep dives, but the problem was the whole idea of the carbon fiber being connected with a dome, a titanium dome, just the way it's connected, there would be, I mean, the stresses, it's just, yeah, crazy. And the guy doing it, I mean, he was on it, so he trusted it, you know? He thought he was being innovative. But I mean, one of the interesting things, like we're talking material science here, you know, Elon, early on in the development of the Starship, the new ship rocket they're working on, you know, they did the one launch and it turned out better than worse fears, but not as good as some hopes.
Your phone, my
I think that was mine. I should have silenced it.
Okay.
But they a long time ago, the original concept was going to be carbon fiber. The Falcon 9s, the ones that take off and land all the time, they are composite carbon fiber, and it works great on land. But
And
one
they
of
go
the
to outer
things,
space?
yeah. Well, so here's the thing: the capsules do. The actual the booster section, which comes back and lands, barely reaches the edges of space, but it is under a lot of stress. And then what they have to do, though, it usually takes a week or two to sort of refurbish it and test it and make sure it's okay, and then they can use it again. So it's not instantly reusable, right? But what really happened, and he was explaining, is that stainless steel, while it is heavy, it doesn't really have to be real thick. It's resilient to heat. And let's just say you are on the moon or you are at Mars and there's a problem, you can always fix it. You can weld things. Steel is weldable. Carbon fiber, you have to have massive pressure chambers and all these other things. So it's all the other submersibles, like one of the things is Bob Ballard said, there's never been a failure of a human submersible, exploration submersible until this one. There have been submarines that failed. There's been other types of tragedies. But these experimental submersibles with humans have always been safe until this.
So,
but they're all tested in pressure chambers and steel.
So watch this. The United States has Alvin from the 50s and the 60s, made by the Navy. Japan has one called like Jingtao or something like that. Okay. Russia has two, the Mir 1 and Mir 2, and France has one. I don't know the name of it. It's probably like La Jeu du Quoi Jaba Jaba.
I wonder what Mir means, because that's what the space
Mir
means
station, peace.
Because that's what the space
Mir
station
means
called.
peace.
Okay.
It means peace.
Well, yeah.
Can't you speak Russian?
No, I can't. But yeah, those Russian submersibles are what James Cameron used for the initial stuff with Titanic.
Which ones?
The Russian ones.
Really?
Yes. The Russians helped him do the basic research there. Huh. That's what he said on that one of the interviews.
I like James Cameron. You know, he was inspired by Star Wars. He was inspired by Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He was. He said so.
That surprised me, yeah. He's an interesting guy. Very interesting guy.
So speaking of Russia.
I like Avatar, okay.
Speaking of Russia.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about Avatar?
No.
Because it's not in our notes.
No.
But you can talk about it.
No, I just went with James Cameron, Avatar. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's okay.
Oh, we talk Avatar.
No, let's,
you sure?
Yes. Let's go on to the Russians.
Russia. Russia.
Ukraine and Russia, too.
Russia. I'm talking about our boy Prigozhin.
I can't pronounce
Prigozhin.
Prigozhin or whatever.
Prigozhin.
Right, with the Wagner.
Right? Yeah. They had the Wagner group.
Yeah.
He was 125 miles.
From Moscow.
And
he turned around. Yeah. The president of Belarus is an old friend of his. And
Lushenko.
Yeah, and he's also an ally of Putin. Talked him down, talked him off the.
What do you think about that deal?
Off the edge of the.
What do you think about that deal?
If he moves to Belarus and all the other guys won't be prosecuted, I think a lot of people just start dying and disappearing. That's what Putin does. He'll probably be okay. His Belarusian buddy will probably protect him, but. I don't know. I mean, it certainly showed a level of weakness. So, from what I understand, these guys were a bunch of criminals that were released to go fight the war against Ukraine because they couldn't get enough civilian
Russians.
Russians.
Focus on the rebellion.
But their origin affects the reason that they were able to be inspired to go potentially rebel. Because they were not civilians. They were released to go fight. They were not given proper equipment and so forth. So this is why he was able to recruit them to go off on this adventure. I mean, heck, they've been in prison anyways. Not all of them, but apparently a lot of them. So I think that has something to do with his ability to recruit them for this mission. You disagree with me?
I'm not talking about the recruitment. I'm talking about the fucking march to Moscow. He stopped.
Yep.
So now what's going to happen? I want to know what's going to happen. I don't want to know about the conscripts. What's going to happen?
I said, probably some will go right back to the front and fight. Some are going to be back in prison. I mean, Putin's not going to want to encourage this kind of behavior.
So watch this.
Even though there's agreement that they will not be bothered.
Watch this, okay? It is my estimation that looking at Putin's track record, okay, if you denounce him, if you're a detractor, he either puts you in jail or kills you.
That's what I said.
You tend to fall out a window.
Yeah.
Okay? So, It seems weird to me that he's 125 miles from Moscow. Putin's hiding out somewhere, undisclosed location, on TV screaming.
Said he was in the Kremlin all day, but I doubt
Bullshit.
it. Yeah.
His airplane took off. I have insider information from Ukraine.
There you go.
Okay. His
You
airplane
do have a
took
connection.
off. I have a connection. His airplane took off early in the morning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, oligarchs took off as well that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody split. All right.
Mm-hmm.
His inner circle split.
Mm-hmm.
The only people staying there were his young soldiers with their tanks. Okay.
Yep.
So then, if I were the head of Wagner, whatever his name is, if I were head of Wagner, and he says to me, "Oh, go to my best friend's country, you'll be safe, and just get rid of your army." Well, my army keeps me safe. My army gives me power. And if you want me to go to your best friend's country, it's an invitation for death.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that he might be able to be protected, but most of his troops would not be.
How? Think about it for a minute. He's in an apartment building. The whole apartment building, okay, is his. Okay. Putin says, "Where is he? He's there. What's he doing? He's sleeping." Okay. Tomahawk cruise missile blows up the whole goddamn building.
Well, I mean, he would.
And Putin says, "Wasn't me."
He would lose Belarus as his ally. I mean, Belarus.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
You don't think so?
No. The president of Belarus is his buddy.
Yeah, I know, but so this guy is known, not his buddy, but he's known him for 20 years.
They're friends. He just received tactical nuclear weapons from him.
Hmm?
They're buddies. Do you think Putin plays by the rules?
So what?
Do you think he plays by the rules?
No, of course he doesn't.
No.
Of course he
He'll
doesn't.
blow up the whole goddamn building.
But why would he stop then? He says we stopped because there was no blood drawn and you didn't want to.
We didn't want bloodshed.
We didn't want bloodshed. And yet the one city they took over, there was no bloodshed. They just went in and there was no resistance at all. I mean, again, most of the military is not in Moscow anyway, so he probably could have gone in there with no bloodshed.
He could have went into Moscow with no bloodshed. Why didn't he?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
You think he's in Belarus?
Something, yeah, probably.
I don't think he is.
Well, they showed him in a vehicle of some sort being taken to the airport or something. I don't know. Who knows? It's just very fishy, though.
If I were the head of
it's very fishy why they would just stop, because that's like a death sentence, like you said. Putin doesn't tolerate that stuff.
He's fuming right now.
Yeah.
He went on
all
TV.
Those oligarchs that have betrayed him, they're all dead. They all fell out, like you said, fell out windows, fell downstairs.
He's fuming right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he went on TV and said, this guy, whatever his name is, starting with a P, he said what? He's a traitor. He's betraying Russia.
Yep.
Kill him, kill him, kill him.
Yep.
And then he says, let's make a deal.
We're fighting for the survival of Russia.
Right. And then he says, let's make a deal.
Yeah, that's
bizarre.
Weird to
it's
me.
bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Something fishy's going on.
Yep. Do you think this could be some setup to create empathy for Russia in the war?
So if I were Anthony Blinken, I'd give him a call. I say, look, I know you're a scumbag, you're a piece of shit, but guess what? Get the Russians out of Ukraine, and I will never ever look for you. That's what I'd say. Get them out of Ukraine. Don't make any trouble for anybody, and I'll never look for you. You'll be off my wanted list.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I think Putin's kind of crazy, so
the enemy of your enemy is your friend.
Yeah.
So watch this.
Crazy,
so then, what does this mean for Ukraine? What does this mean for our friends in Ukraine?
Well, I mean, Zelensky gave a great speech that night, showing how much disarray Russia was in. I mean, what a leader that guy is. Guy is a TV show comedian.
So how does this affect the battle plan in Ukraine?
On some level, it suggests a weakness with Russia. It might be a time to go more aggressively in the retaking of territory that they're They've been working on this summer offensive or defensive, whatever they're calling it.
What do you think it means for the leadership and the stability of Putin?
Well, I think
he's looking weak.
The rumors are that there are some people that are a lot more crazy than he is that are sitting behind him. So this idea, like, you know, if Putin gets the power, loses power, might be actually worse. But who knows? But he's definitely looking a little weak right now.
He's not looking good.
No. I mean, even though they can control the narratives, you know, in their system over there pretty well, and the people pretty much kind of know that this whole thing is BS. I mean, like I said, those just so back to my point with these people that were in the Wagner group, the majority of them are released criminals from Russian prisons because they couldn't find conscripts from the civilians to fight, and they're losing them. Here we go.
Check this out.
I see. It is a mailbox in bad shape.
So watch this.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks ago, I came home from Germany.
Okay.
I came home at 8:35.
In the morning or evening?
Evening.
Okay.
Sat in my den. Okay. It was 9:35. Sat in my den. Big lightning storm outside, right?
Okay.
So it's the flashes are so big, it looks like daytime.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a crack, and I watched the tree fall into the road.
Wow.
The only thing that got hit was my mailbox.
Wow.
And it still kind of works.
I mean, the flag still works.
You can still say, I got mail, I don't have mail.
Right.
You just gotta bend it
Yeah.
somehow to make it work.
Yeah.
But it does work.
I assume you replaced it.
I did. But not with this nice color here.
Yeah.
Whatever
That is a very nice mailbox.
Yeah. It's actually just good old school brown.
Yeah.
So this is it, man.
That is wild. Lightning. My mom, when I was at her place, there was a storm came through, and it was that kind of lightning. We didn't see any results, you know, in her property, but it was loud, bright, and we heard some crazy shit. So somewhere in that block, probably.
Have you ever watched a tree fall?
From lightning strike? No.
Dude, man, it's amazing. I mean, it's like slow motion. Like Christ, don't hit my house.
Right.
Christ, don't hit my house, right?
Right.
And went in the street.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as in the street, I was like, "What in the street?"
Right. We were relieved.
I went outside. Nobody's house was broken. I was like, "It's fine. I don't care."
Yeah, mailbox is minor.
So I have this busted mailbox.
And it's like a trophy of survival there, huh?
I gotta do something with it. Maybe I'll make it into a birdhouse.
There you go.
See you
Buddy.
next time.
See you next time when you
All
get back.
All right.
Hasta luego.
So, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, let's do the outro.
I've been doing the outro.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, during the mailbox story.
Yeah.
It's not that loud here.
All right. So, wave goodbye.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.